Before the first mantra echoed, before there were temples, before there were prayers, before even the idea of gods, there was silence. And in that silence, there was Shiva, not a god sculpted in stone, but a presence etched into the fabric of time. He was never born. He was never created. He has no beginning, no end. He is Anadi Ananta, infinite, eternal, untouched by time. In the cosmic trinity, Brahma creates, Vishnu preserves, and Shiva? He doesn't end things, he awakens. He lifts the veil so creation can begin again. Cleaner, clearer. Welcome to Enlightened Tongue. I invite you to join me into the sacred rhythms of love, sacrifice, and the timeless stillness of Shiva, a realm beyond time, where the soul remembers what the mind has long forgotten. This is not a tale of religion. This is a return to the source. For thousands of years, Shiva sat atop Mount Kailash, a peak cloaked in eternal snow, where even the winds dare not whisper, a place untouched by time, where heaven kissed earth, still, silent, infinite. But below the peak, confusion reigned as 7 seekers, not saints, not sages, just humans, aching for truth. They climbed through storms and silence, through hunger and doubt, until they reached the feet of the one who would not speak. They waited, days, seasons, years, until one day, Shiva opened his eyes. He revealed to them an ancient science, a discipline not of motion, but of stillness, a map of the self, a way to dissolve the ego and touch the infinite within. And this is how the ancient science of yoga was born. These 7 seekers would later come to be known as the Saptarishis, the 7 sages who carried Shiva's wisdom across the world. And this is how Shiva became Adiyogi, the first yogi, and Adiguru, the first guru. Sometime later, when the world once again tilted into imbalance, when pride rose in the hearts of even the divine, a storm was destined to follow. There came a time when even the mighty devas lost their divine power, cursed by sage Durvasa for a moment of pride and disrespect. Stripped of their strength, the devas became vulnerable, and the forces of darkness, the Asuras, began to rise. Chaos spread through the cosmos. The balance of Dharma trembled. To restore order, the Devas sought the nectar of immortality. Amrit, hidden deep in the cosmic ocean. But the task was beyond them alone. So a pact was struck, a fragile truce with their enemies, the Asuras. Together, they began to churn the ocean of milk. Mount Mandara became their churning rod. The mighty serpent, Vasuki, their rope. As they heaved and strained, wonders emerged. Celestial beings. Divine treasures. Goddesses of grace. And then, the ocean turned dark. From its depths rose Halahala, a poison so vast, so potent, its fumes alone threatened to dissolve all of existence. The Devas stepped back. The Asuras recoiled. No one dared to touch it. Except one, Shiva. He appeared, calm, composed, and without a word. He gathered the poison into his palm and drank it, but he did not swallow it down. He held it in his throat, locking it between creation and destruction. His neck turned blue, and from that day, he was known as Neelkantha, the blue-throated one. He absorbed the darkness so the universe could survive. Not for glory, not for reward, but because he was the only one who could. Chandra, the moon god, was known for his beauty and charm. He married all 27 daughters of Daksha Prajapati, each daughter representing a star in the night sky, the nakshatras. But Chandra favored only one, Rohini. He ignored the others. Daksha was furious. He cursed Chandra. You shall fade. You will lose your shine and disappear. And the curse began to work. Night after night, the moon started to wane, losing light, losing power, disturbing the natural balance of the world. Terrified, Chandra turned to the only one who could help, Lord Shiva. He prayed for days, for weeks, in deep penance. Shiva appeared. He couldn't undo the curse, 'cause that is how the karma works. But he chose to soften it. Shiva said,
"You will wax and wane. You will fade, but always return."
To protect Chandra, Shiva placed the crescent moon on his own head, right above his third eye. And that is how Shiva became Chandrachud, the one who wears the moon, a god who turned punishment into protection and brought balance through compassion. A long time ago, in the royal bloodline of the Ikshvaku dynasty, a young prince was born. His name, Bhagirath. But his legacy was one of pain. His ancestors had been cursed, reduced to ash, trapped between life and death, never at peace. From the moment he understood his past, Bhagirath had one purpose, to free their souls. But there was only one way. The celestial river, Ganga, flowing high in the heavens, had the power to wash away their sins. But to bring her down? It wasn't a task for any ordinary man. So Bhagirath gave up everything, his crown, his palace, his comforts. He chose the path of extreme penance, and for 1,000 years, he stood under the sun, through storms, through silence, meditating, unmoved. The heavens finally listened. Ganga agreed to descend, but she warned. If I fall to earth in full force, I will destroy the world. And so, Bhagirath turned to the one who could hold her, Lord Shiva, the one who once drank poison to save the universe, now stood ready again. When Ganga fell, Shiva stood still. He opened his jata, his matted locks, and caught the river. She spiraled through his hair. She calmed, she flowed, and only then touched the earth. From that moment, Shiva became Gangadhari, the bearer of the Ganga, and the river. She was named Bhagirathi in honor of the man whose devotion shook the heavens. When the world trembles, Shiva rises, not with fury, but with silent sacrifice, boundless tolerance, and his will to protect all of creation. There came a time when Shiva, the god of stillness, felt something even he could not dissolve: a heartbreak. Her name was Sati. She wasn't just his consort. She was his reflection, his rhythm, his flame. Born to Daksha Prajapati, Sati defied the world for Shiva. But when her father insulted him, she chose death over dishonor, offering herself to the sacred fire. And when that flame was extinguished, he raged. In grief and fury, he tore a lock of his hair. And from it rose Virabhadra, who burned Daksha's arrogance to ashes. Then, when the fire of wrath had passed, Shiva withdrew. He sat alone for thousands of years, not in penance, not in meditation, but in a silence deeper than time. In grief and love, even the gods could not reach him. He waited, age after age, yuga after yuga, until one day, a girl named Parvati was born. She had Sati's eyes, the same soul, and a devotion so steady, it reached even the god who had turned away. She didn't chase him. She became what he had once lost, and slowly, she melted the silence of Shiva. Because sometimes the greatest strength isn't in moving on, but in waiting with an open heart. Shiva is not distant, not hidden in mountains. He lives where your ego ends and your true self begins. He is the breath after heartbreak, the silence after the storm, the moment of surrender. You don't need perfection, you need truth. He is Bholenath, ever forgiving. Neelkantha, who drank the world's poison. Adiyogi, the first stillness before movement. Gangadhara, who carries the Ganga in his locks. Chandrachud, who wears the moon like a vow. Virabhadra, who rose in righteous fury. Mahadeva, the great dissolver and revealer, who destroys what no longer serves. To chant Om Namah Shivaya is not to call him down. It is to awaken him within. When life poisons you, become Neelkantha. When chaos shakes you, be Adiyogi stillness. When injustice rises, awaken Virabhadra's fire. And when the world breaks you, rise. As he rose, when love returned, not as it was, but as it was meant to be. This is not just mythology. This is a mirror for the soul and the invitation to become divine. If this story moved you, If Shiva's silence spoke to something deep within, like this video for more such timeless tales. And let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Your journey is just beginning.